Good morning. Oh, just kidding. Hello, and welcome to the Inclusionary Practices Spotlight on embedded non-academic instruction in the general education setting. This video offers a brief overview of published research related to inclusive education, followed by a case study highlighting Washington Elementary and Centralia, Washington. Embedded non-academic instruction means that as a building, you intentionally plan to teach social, emotional, and adaptive skills within the natural flow of the general education day. Rather than pulling students out or treating SEL as a separate initiative, you identify target skills, build learning opportunities across environments, and monitor progress to see what's working. This approach makes SEL relevant and continuous for all learners, regardless of the classroom, teacher, or time of day. On the screen, you will see a picture of a PE class at Washington Elementary School. The students are being taught how to meditate. When we teach social, emotional, and adaptive skills in a classroom setting and connect them to real life situations, students are more likely to learn them, practice them, and continue using them. The variety of peers, materials, and social moments throughout the day gives students repeated chances to grow. When SEL is embedded like this, it's not just a one-off lesson. It becomes part of how students experience school, supporting supporting connection, belonging, and emotional well-being every day. When we intentionally embed non-academic instruction, the impact is powerful. Research shows that students in inclusive general education settings are more independent, feel a stronger sense of belonging, and are less likely to face disciplinary action. Social inclusion also boosts emotional well-being and helps students thrive, not just in academics, but in their social and personal lives as well. Which is why we chose an image of a happy child hiding half their face behind a maple leaf. Let's take a look at some examples in action. Washington Elementary and Centralia has made social emotional learning a foundational part of their Tier 1 system. What stands out most is how the school's approach supports the whole child. They have built culture where every student is seen, supported, and safe to grow, emotionally and socially, not just academically. Their mission is for each student to find a home within themselves that is truly reflected in everything they do. For example, every class K through 6 begins the day with a morning meeting. This creates space for community building and emotional check-ins. As we saw, in PE, students are taught and practice mindfulness and breathing to help regulate their nervous systems. And the purble, a calming tool that mimics breathing, is used school-wide. It has become such a part of their culture that students offer it to staff when they noticed someone could use a moment to reset. In the picture on the screen, you see a table full of purbles. They are the little stuffed animals that are gray and look like maybe small bears. They're also next to a stuffed brain, heart, and lungs. Washington Elementary also uses data to guide their decisions. They rely on universal screeners to identify student needs and shape both Tier 1 and Tier 2 supports. For example, when first grade data revealed an gap in SEL skills, the team thought they were going to have a Tier 2 intervention. However, it turned into a Tier 1 response, and they created a 10-week whole class instruction. They also listened closely to students. When sixth graders raised concern about appearance-based teasing, the school followed up with a student survey and designed lessons to address it directly. To build long-term inclusion, Washington is using what they learn at the upper grades to inform instruction in the lower grades. After the sixth grade students brought up appearance-based teasing, the counselor and instructional coach decided to build a library that tackles forms of discrimination like sizeism, racism, and colorism. This ensures that every child sees themselves reflected in their learning and gains tools for empathy, connection, and inclusion. Washington Elementary is home of the Tigers, which is why there is a little cartoon tiger on the screen. As we wrap up, there are a few key takeaways to keep in mind to do this work well. First, teach non-academic skills as clearly and intentionally as you would academic skills. Next, give students voice and autonomy by involving them in setting their own goals. Use data regularly to check progress and adjust your instruction as needed. And finally, remember, this is for every student, not just those with identified needs. Look for ways to embed SEL opportunities throughout the day and involve all staff in the process. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about inclusive education research. For more tip sheets on inclusive educational practices, please visit ippdemosites.org.